I'd like to, where's Tommy? There. Tommy Lynch is the director of Metro Parks, and of course the mansion and all of this is part of the Two Rivers Park property. And so I tell Tommy that this belongs to him. So he's responsible for all the upkeep here. But
they asked me if I had everything under control. I just grabbed to the tail and kind of let it wag me around. But I would like to say a few words of thanks to the Friends group out here. When Councilman Claiborne came to me a few years ago with this idea, we had the Stones River Women's Club had been out here taking care of the interior of the building for over 30 years and had kept this mansion still here by basis of their work. The Friends group and the councilman have been a great impetus. We spent almost $2 million, $1.7 million on the exterior and the exterior outside of the building. And it's been from the leadership that we've gotten with the councilman and with the Friends group. So I think in all instances with this that I need to personally thank Phil for his leadership. And it's a great time where you get public-private partnership moving in the same direction. And from the Parks Department standpoint, I think this makes sure that this facility, the McGavock Mansion, the Two Rivers Mansion, stays as a wonderful part of Nashville's history, not looking backwards, but as we move forward to document the history of this area that we have had. So thank you for what you've done. Thank all of y'all for what you've done to participate, and I particularly want to thank you for the gift of getting this going. Okay. Tim Walker is the director for Metro Historic, and Tim's been a very vital part of what we've been doing here since 2010, and will continue to be. We just got a confirmation this week that we received a grant for $30,000 from the Tennessee Historic Commission that will have to be matched. The Friends Group will do that, but beginning hopefully in the near term, we will start a master planning process for the entire 14-acre plot here in the house, and what are the best uses and what are the priorities for monies that may become available going forward. So Tim's been a very integral part of that process. So Tim, I'd like for you to say whatever is on your mind.
Okay, happy to do that. Thank you. I really concur with Tommy here. I do want to thank the Friends group, and I'll say I actually want to thank Laura and Joe. They're Parks employees, but they treat this place like it's their own. It's like their own child. They care for it and make sure it's treated right and watch out for it after hours, and we're glad to have them living here and a part of that team. And I also want to thank Mr. Blundin here. I was mentioning before, he's given quite a lot of money toward this project here that we're about to see come alive, but also toward the mirror that he donated and had restored inside. And I hope others will follow his example and donate things that the mansion might need, especially as we start that master planning process and decide how to move forward. It's just a really exciting time for the mansion, and our office is excited to be a part of it.
Laura, did he mention? Laura, raise your hand over it. Okay. Laura has a vested interest in what happens here because her connection to this property goes back prior to her work as a Parks employee. Her grandfather used to be a caretaker for the property, and as a young girl, she remembers sleeping in the front room of the mansion here, and knew Ms. McGavock when she was still alive. So Laura's connection to the property is more than just a professional connection. She has a very personal connection also. And Joe certainly, her husband, does a lion's share of the work that she has a responsibility for with events and so on. So Mr. Blundin, if you'll come over this way. The mayor couldn't be here today. We asked him to come out, but he's involved in a Nash Vitality program, and he set a goal for himself back earlier in the month to do 100 miles in a very compressed period of time. And so he's out biking and walking with folks on one of our greenways today. But he sent this in his appreciation, so I will read this to you. Metropolitan Government of Nashville-Davidson County, Office of the Mayor. Whereas William Bransford Blundin is a cousin of Mary Louise Bransford McGavock, the surviving McGavock widow who resided periodically in the historic Two Rivers Mansion in Nashville before her death in 1965. And whereas over the years, Mr. Blundin has gifted the mansion with antiques and dollars totaling over $100,000. And whereas William Bransford Blundin donated the money to complete the restoration of the Boxwood Garden Maze and the recreation of the Angel Fountain in the center of the garden, a fountain which has been inoperable for over 3 decades. And whereas on May the 17th, 2015, the dedication of the Boxwood Garden Maze and the fountain will be celebrated in honor of William Bransford Blundin's late mother and in honor of his cousin, Mary Louise Bransford McGavock. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Carl F. Dean, Mayor of Metro Government of Nashville-Davidson County, do hereby join the Two Rivers Mansion in recognizing the dedication of the Boxwood Garden Maze and thanking William Bransford Blundin for his generosity. I hereto have set my hand on this, the 17th day of May, 2015, Carl F. Dean, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
Before we finish up, would you like to say anything?
Well, like that, I'm delighted to be able to do this. And as a child, as a young man, I came and visited. Her name was Cousin Louise because I was named after her father, and so she basically was a cousin. And I used to come down and stay in the room. I think Laura probably slept in the same room I did, the one across from hers. And when I did this, I always thought, this is something I'll experience that I'll remember for the rest of my life, to never be able to experience this again, because it's something, thank God it's still being preserved. And I'm delighted to be able to help Two Rivers.
Well, we're delighted to have you. So if you'll help me lift this up here, we will, it says, in loving memory, go ahead. In loving memory, Mary Louise Bransford McGavock, Catherine Higgins Blundin, Elizabeth Bransford, donation provided by William Bransford Blundin, May 2015. And it will be mounted, you see this pedestal here, it will be permanently mounted here. And so we'd like to get you to flip the switch there.
Like the Christmas trees.
Right. Thank you again for being here, and please take time to enjoy the mansion, walk around, enjoy the artwork.